it's neither a male or female, and also it's its own movie, right? Secretariat. It's a horse. It's a racehorse.
Yeah, it's a racehorse.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, are you talking about the Bruce Jenner? Hey, 1 to 4, it's good to be in Singapore. This is the SG Draft Podcast. I'm your host, Media, and welcome to another episode of the SG Draft Podcast presented by the Chit Podcast Network. Now, for those of you that are tuning in via YouTube or any sort of podcasting platform, hi again. Thank you so much for giving us a try, for giving us a listen. Just a bunch of Singaporeans that love to Speaking of people that love to work out, once again, I'm joined by my drafting crew and our special guest for this week, Mr. Gordon. Oh, Gordon, how are you doing?
I am good. Thanks very much, Mida, for having me on the podcast. First timer here. Is my hair looking good?
Yes, very long and
all right, thank you.
Yeah, surfer boy.
Silky.
Yeah, I can't exercise too much. Gotta wash the hair.
No, is it? Do you take that into consideration? Like really?
No, I am being serious about it. I have to plan like my days based on like when I wash my hair. That's when I play tennis.
Oh, really? So how often do you have to like wash to maintain? It's not like a daily thing.
No, or rather, it's more of like you cannot wash it too often.
Oh, okay. Why?
Oh, yeah. So
Why?
You know, there's some people, if you go on the internet or then you'll see people say, oh no, if you wash too much, then you drop your hair, you know, your hair can't be wet all the time.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, but I shampoo my hair. Does that mean that's the reason why my hair is always dropping?
I think it works differently with long hair, because long hairs, they drop much easier, right?
Yeah, okay.
I like to believe it's just more obvious, but I'm sure that you can ask Natalie also.
Yeah, she'll just ask. What got a stupid question? Yeah, but actually, Gordon, right? We were talking before this episode started. Actually, you and Brendan haven't seen each other for like years, right? Because actually, you all grew up in the same church, but then it's like been like super long since we sort of like three of us like sit down and talk together, lah. Correct?
I know me that when you put it that way, that does sound very sad.
Yeah, it does sound very sad. Yeah, lor. But actually, we used to play basketball together, right? Like every once in a while. Yeah. Do you remember playing against Brendan?
Okay, like for context, guys, for those of you who are listening, so imagine I think it's like almost 15 years ago, thereabouts, I think.
Yeah, very
before,
long time
like,
ago.
Brendan, I don't know, maybe around there. Maybe I'm making the numbers up. So can you imagine, I used to be way shorter, way smaller. And Brendan by then was really like 1'8" something, right?
Yeah.
And I'm this small kid. And then like Brendan just gobbling like all the rebounds when we play basketball.
Oh, yes. I remember that quite clearly.
Yeah, that was like... That was the most demoralizing feeling.
Yeah. Do you know, right? If you've ever seen Brendan play basketball, it's a bit like it's like the Slender Man being good at basketball. Do you know what I mean? Like very
The Slender Man being good
like it
at
doesn't make
basketball.
sense.
Okay.
But it, like somehow the ball goes in the hoop. You're like,
No skills, just somehow hide. Usually just hide.
Yeah, but even if last time he used to play with like my basketball teammates, right? They'll be like, "Yo, this friend, is like awkward but like good, like yeah, well, very long since.
What a good way to phrase it.
It's like awkward but like skilled, lah.
Yeah.
Speaking of ugly jump shots, we're going to be talking about the greatest athletes of all time for this week's draft. Yeah, people that we're not going to be taking. But for this week, we'll talk a bit about, because we're sort of like recording this out of order, because we normally record on Monday, but next Monday is going to be a holiday, so we decided to go and push the recording a bit earlier. Last week's draft, right, was actually the dog breed draft. Brendan, last week you couldn't come on to the episode, so actually,
yes, I couldn't make it. I would have won.
You have won. Yeah, okay, so actually
I could have won it again, back to back.
So you have no idea like who picked what, right, at the moment?
Yeah, at the moment, honestly, I have a rough guess. I saw the chat pop up, but I tried my best not to look at it.
Okay. If you had to make a guess, like what is the number one ranked dog or like dog breed?
Golden Retriever, bro.
Okay, we shall see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. But it was an interesting and fun draft. It was quite short, but I think that's because L, like, he picked the picks, then he got no knowledge of the dogs.
Yeah, because she doesn't like dogs, right? I don't
doesn't like
that's so
dogs.
funny.
But then he picked the picks. It was like quite solid, lah. So in a way, I'll put it in. Yeah, but overall, I'll include it into this like video later. Like, okay, who won the draft lah. And then, but previously before that, the previous draft before that was the Muslim food draft, right? Brendan, you won that one. Yeah. So for this week, right, I will give you a bigger spot on the wheel. But actually, I wanted to ask you, before we do that spin the wheel thing, right? Do you want to use it now or do you want to keep it? The bigger probability thing.
Question. I think I keep it. I don't know why I keep it. I think I use it. Because I think it's fair that I use it now.
Okay.
Rather than, because like, since I supposedly missed the...
Yeah, like you missed one episode already, right? So it's like might as well be fair.
So
to
the winner from the dog breed, there's a very high chance that they can use it for the next week one, because you never know if it was L or whoever. Yeah,
it's not going to be L. I don't think so. But we shall see. Okay, for this week's draft. Yeah, for this week's draft, right, it is the greatest athletes of all time. Okay, first off, before we start, do you have any question or queries about this specific draft? I think that for me, right, athletes, it's a very broad thing, but I think it encompasses like the whole package of an athlete. Like, do you know what I mean? For me, like how athletic the person is, how good he is at a specific sport, how marketable. Do you know what I mean? I think all this like adds into it lah. Do you guys think or what?
Yeah.
Thank you, Brendan.
Actually, right.
Yeah.
I would think that. Well, the one question I wanted to ask is throughout all time, right? That means current athletes also play. They are up for picks, right?
Yes, correct. It's the whole, you get the whole sort of charcuterie board of athletes that you want to pick.
I don't think I have questions. I think I just have more of like an apology. Like, sorry guys for those sports that I don't really watch.
okay, understand. Yeah, but you're mainly okay lah, a tennis basketball fan, correct?
Yeah, you can put it that way.
Yeah.
Watch too much NBA for one's health, but yes.
Yeah, it's not. Now this morning I was so angry. I was watching the Celtics game, right? I was like, you suck so much.
Like they threw it away to Atlanta, man. My God.
Yeah, that Trae Young three at the end.
Yeah, Trae.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but we don't need to help you relive that horror in that.
We're not on a basketball podcast, lah. All right, Kim Yong, do you have any questions?
Just one question. We are doing both male and female athletes, right?
Yes, of all time, everything.
Okay.
Whole package. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And if that's okay, then let's spin the wheel.
Spin it.
Okay, let's spin the wheel. Okay, the one that gets to pick first is. Oh my God, Gordon!
Oh, nice. Okay.
So now you get to pick. What position do you want to draft? 1, 2, or 3, 4? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm gonna go with. I'll go first.
All right.
Wow.
Okay, nice one.
All right.
Gotta be aggressive, man.
Gotta be aggressive. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Okay, next up is me. All right. I think I'll go number
with
2.
your heart.
Yeah, I think I'll go number 2. Okay, last one.
That's interesting.
Brandon. Brandon, okay.
The one with the larger pie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I shall pick 4th.
All right. So, okay. So this will be the official draft order. It'll be my Gordon first, myself second, Jin Yong third, and then Brandon fourth. We get back-to-back picks to round off the first round. Let's get right into the draft. All right. With the first official pick in the greatest athletes of all time draft, Gordon, first time participant, gets to pick first. What athlete are you gonna take?
Oh my! I'm just gonna. The teaser is that this guy is he likes he wears Uniqlo, he wears Rolex.
Oh,
super marketable. I think that you can name a whole religion after this dude. All right, it's gotta be my favorite athlete, Roger Federer.
Whoa.
Well, I'm sure you can agree. You can agree with me with this one.
Okay, wow.
I was not expecting Roger Federer to go first.
Yes, I was not expecting Federer to go first.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta secure this bag, the die-hard Federer fan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. This be that. Oh, lucky. This lucky be that.
Okay, I was gonna say that actually Federer, he's on my list. He's definitely on my list. He's definitely, but I would say he's like top 7 for me, but he's not like the top few lah. But he's number 1 for you. He's a favorite athlete lah.
Yeah, of course, he's definitely number 1.
Yeah, but he's a great player lah. You know what I mean? Like, it's undeniable that he's such a great tennis player.
Yeah.
When I think about Federer, I'm not sure. For people who follow tennis, right, and I would say that the current era, when I don't get that kind of same kind of draw as I used to have when I watch the current players.
Yeah,
I think what Federer gets in the package, right, is you got no drama. He's like so Swiss, everything is like on point. He's like painting the canvas with all his strokes and everything, and he plays with a style that it's so graceful. It feels as if like everything he does is like art on the court. Yes. But I can tell you that if you watch him live, right, all you get is cardiac arrest.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I watched him live twice, and both times that I watched him, like he lost, and then that was.
Oh, okay. So it's like it was an exhibition match or what? Or like did he? Or where do you go and see him play?
Okay, so there was once an exhibition match in Singapore, in this IPTL league long ago in 2016. Okay. Yeah, it was like some one-off thing, and then Federer was in there for like the first day, and he played only a few. The second time I watched him was in London, and so it was like ATP World Tour Finals, right? And then it was in 2019, and what happens is that there are a few matches that you can watch. Okay. There was, I can't remember which draw it was, but I remember there was one with Djokovic, and I was thinking to myself, oh man, I'm a Federer fan, and I really don't want to see Federer lose to Djokovic. And obviously, I didn't buy that ticket. I didn't buy the one that he was playing Djokovic. He was playing with someone else. And you can just feel the whole stadium is just waiting for, like, if Federer loses a point, they're like, oh. If he wins the point, they're like, yes, Roger, go Roger. Yeah, that kind of thing. There's no one I've seen that has that kind of draw. Yeah.
But I think for the longest time, him and Nadal were very, very close. One was king of grass, one was king of clay.
Yeah. They have some iconic matches, but I don't want to talk about Nadal. So like when he comes up, then we'll say lah. But if you're talking about the three, I mean, we sort of like hinted at them just now. The three sort of like great tennis players, the male tennis players, right?
Yeah.
I would say personally for me, right, in his prime, Federer is like the best. Like in the prime of himself, it's just that he may not have been in the prime as long as the other two. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's a bit hard.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit hard when you're playing against people who are 5 or 6 years younger than you.
Yeah,
like it's Nadal, Djokovic, right? Yeah, you can't keep up with the young kids all the time. But I would say Federer is deceptively fast. I wouldn't say that he has that crazy kind of determination that you see from Nadal and things. But in terms of just having that very aggressive, like giving you like the wow moments. Yeah, that's the guy. That is the guy.
He got a like nice YouTube. Like highlight reel
highlights,
sexy highlight reel. Plus, I think you said it earlier. Also, the marketability of him is like huge. Like Gillette, and then also Uniqlo, and then like Rolex. He's just very easy to market. I also saw like the YouTube now. Also, he has some come to Switzerland advertisement with Trevor Noah. Like going
yeah.
It's just that I would say I'm a bit shocked that he went first. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I think maybe you could have got him if he went back. You know what I mean? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think you got to him at the second round. But I understand you maybe want to put him first in the graphic, right? Like on top of your thing because he's your.
He's got to be first. Yeah. But I think. Yeah, I think we have different drafting criteria and all this, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Federer is off the board. Interesting. But Brandon, I also think that you benefit for this in a way, because I think that there was clear like 2 superstars in this draft, don't you think?
Honestly, I think you benefit the most because I already know what's going to be your pick already.
Okay. No. I think. Okay, there are two people that I really think that they are like head and shoulders above everyone else, in terms of like if I were to label the term greatest athlete. But I personally, because I grew up watching all of these guys' DVDs, right? Like the Anus or like Come Fly With Me, all this, right? I'm going to take Michael Jordan, my second pick. Yeah. And the reason why is that, for one thing, yes, he's the greatest basketball player ever to me, because I truly think he's the most mentally dominant, physically dominant basketball player ever. And the way that you crush competition, the way that he can control and then dictate a game. And he has this fear factor when he's on the court, right? That is like everyone is just scared of him when he plays. And even his teammates are all scared of him. If you ever seen the Last Dance documentary, they all talk about like, oh yeah, Michael's an asshole. Like they got say, and then they are scared at him, but he pushed them all to become champions, all this. But for me, also 6 out of 6 for NBA champions, 5 times NBA MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, led the league in points for 10 years. But what I think makes him number one is not so much specifically the on-court stuff. It's actually his off-court branding. So if you were to look at Air Jordan itself, right, I don't think you can name another athlete, right, that has an entire brand that is $1 billion like entity, right, that is also under his own name. There's no other athlete lah. So if you watch the movie Air, right, they document he earns about $450 million a year just on licensing Air Jordan. So yeah, and he will always be like remembered after basketball now because of this like sort of like long-standing branding thing lah.
Well, I just wish Jordan could actually be a better owner of a team.
Yeah, he sucks as the owner of a team. He sucks, bro. He's so horrible in Charlotte.
I think it's a mixture of bad luck also lah. Hornets have a lot of injuries over the past few years.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah. He's really like he was my number one pick. So like if like anywhere I would be really very happy to pick him. Because honestly, like and everybody knows Jordan. You know, like it's like whether you play basketball or you don't. Like even the movie that he was in, like the Space Jam one, was it's an
iconic movie.
It's like an iconic basketball. It's like I think like
it's not a good movie, but it's an iconic movie.
It's not may not be the best, but it was like I think it was one of the only like at point of time there was a season of like a lot of basketball movie, a lot of movies that had basketball players inside. But then Space Jam was the one that like really did the best out of everybody, like cream of the crop. Yeah,
man. Plus, if you look at his shoes now, like. At it, wow. Like, it's just like everyone wears Air Jordans, you know what I mean? Yeah. Plus the logo is iconic, the flying in the air with the ball like that. Yeah. All right. Happy to take Michael Jordan off the board. Okay, Brandon, I think that you get a good next pick also as well. So
no, I'm not third, bro.
Oh, you're not. Oh yeah. You're not. Oh shit. That means Jin Yong gets to take a really good pick next. Jin Yong, please.
Okay. I'm trying not to screw this up. What's so much stress on the first pick? Okay, I'm trying to go with a popular pick here. So I'm going to pick somebody that recently he used to go head to head with his compatriot for very, very long until he went ahead because he recently won the World Cup. I'm going to go with Lionel Messi.
That's a good pick. That was my second overall. Yes. Yeah. And great player. Yeah.
I mean, if you watch him, there'll be parts of the match as he grow older, like there will really be parts of the match. He starts switching off. You thought he switched off, right? And then suddenly he was just like, wow. Then he suddenly get the ball. And then he's like, wow, become another animal altogether. Then like, what's going on then? Later he pass or he shoot and something will happen. Right?
Yeah. Plus, he has I always find it very amazing that he's like so puny and small, but like
he's not very tall.
He's like puny and small, but he's the greatest football player that ever played lah. Yeah, lor. And then I mean, if you talk about it, like he got 7 Ballon d'Ors, 4 Champions League titles, 10 La Liga titles, 34 trophies at Barca, and I think what like sort of cement his gold legacy is that he won the World Cup. So I think that it was a very, I would say, obvious first two. Like for me, it was the first two is the Jordan and Messi lah. Brandon, do you think so?
Yeah, like I said that's what I said. I didn't pick number 3 because I didn't feel like I would get to pick both of them.
Wow, you're dissing my pick right now, but okay.
No, we're not dissing a pick, bro. It's the same thing as the other day. I was so contented with picking Nasi Lemak. You know, I was just like, yes, Nasi Lemak.
Yeah.
Not dissing anybody picks, but it's just like because it's usually you go for end of the day, like we all have our favorite. So that's the part that we always tears us apart. Like, do we go for our favorites or do we go for or do we go for what we know that the general public
It's the individual battle within yourself.
It's always the case.
It's always the case, brother.
I stick by my pick. Yeah, all is well.
No, as long as you're happy, it's the most important.
Of course.
Yeah. All right. Next up is Mr. Brandon. I think that it's also a nice spot. This back-to-back thing.
I feel like it's okay. Like I feel like I'm going to pick like. I feel like really legendary legends. Like I feel like that's what I will be going for. So I'll be picking my first pick is literally his nickname. It's really the greatest. It's Muhammad Ali.
This is a good pick. Okay, this is a good pick.
Muhammad Ali. Like
He came back to
literally,
me,
like
I'll pick that also.
there are so many quotes about like honestly like Ali and like like, and honestly I feel like he made himself very marketable. It's like even to this day, it's like the things that he says like it's like float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Like he's like,
bro.
I don't count the sit-ups.
I don't count the sit-ups.
I don't count the sit-ups.
He's the original trash talker. The OG like trash talker, like the psychological warfare in between boxing or this, right? He's the art of it lah. Yeah. But I also think that if you talk about Ali, it's not just so what he's done in boxing, it's also what he's done outside of boxing. Because like for the like civil rights movement or this, he played a huge part in like accelerating the civil rights movement. Yeah, because he went to jail for not willing to like go to Vietnam. And then he changed his name from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali. And after that he came out, and he had to lose all his heavyweight titles to do that. Then after he came back, then he managed to like get them back.
Get back,
Yeah. He has a very famous quote also, like what is it like? The Viet Cong people didn't do anything to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why am I fighting them?
Yes.
Like,
why fighting a war that is not it's not really mine, to fight?
Yeah, and then he says that the people that don't like me are the people that are racially abusive to me. So it's like I'm at war with people in my own country, and you expect me to go and fight a war. Yeah, so it's like in that time also, he really spoke a lot. And I would say in terms of boxing, right, he has like I think 4 or 5 of the 2 or 3 out of the like greatest boxing matches, like Rumble in the Jungle, like Thriller in Manila, all of this against Joe Frazier and then George Foreman. So yeah, I think it's a great Muhammad Ali.
But honestly, I also feel like the one thing is because honestly, to ask me who's the current world champion for boxing, right? I have no idea. You know, but it's just I watch boxing. Yeah, I understand. Correct. But it's the same way how you define a legend. It's just like even if you don't watch, right? It's like they market themselves so well and they are so good, right? That you remember their name. It's like I don't even watch boxing, right? But I know who Muhammad Ali. You ask you ask my wife, you ask my sister, people who never watch a single boxing game in their match in their life, right? They all still will know who Muhammad Ali is. You know, like and at a point of time, it's like that was so long ago for the fact that at a point of time there wasn't even like. I don't even think there's no such thing as social media. There's no such thing as like the television is like so super like take a while before I can get the like Asia will get the tips of like from all the way from US. So it's like for the fact that he became so really like world famous because of that, like but by being such a good trash talker and overall so marketable.
Yeah, man. I got this quote that he has, right? That he used it as a trash talk. I love him, man. So I murdered a rock, I injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick. Oh, that's a sick ass quote, man. I'm so fast, I can go to bed before the lights go off. That's Muhammad Ali, man. Like the original, like trash talking king. Gordon, you're not a boxing guy.
No, hardly actually. But don't worry, I know who's Muhammad Ali. That's for sure. His status, I think, transcends the sport.
For sure.
I agree. Yeah.
All right. Ali is off the board. Okay, Brandon, your next pick. What are you going to take? That was a good pick, man.
I'm going to pick, like, honestly, when I growing up, right, my dad couldn't stop talking about him. He's my dad's favorite player.
He's a good
favorite athlete. Yeah, favorite athlete. And honestly, currently I watch him a lot because recently his TikTok have like videos of him playing golf with his son.
Oh,
Mr. Woods!
I know.
Tiger Woods! Tiger Woods!
My back surgeries and he's still around.
Yeah.
No, I'm more amazed that he's still around after all the philandering and after all the affairs.
But yeah, I was going to say, right,
you think about it, right?
Yeah, it takes away from
like,
how great he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
correct. Yeah.
Like, it spoiled his image a bit.
Correct. Yeah. Because there was a period of time where literally I was flip the newspaper, right? When I was still reading newspaper. Then the sports section, like, every golf competition he win one. And then I'm like, why he keep winning?
No, he's amazing. Like if I think he has let me check. I just wrote it down. Yeah, he has 18 majors that he's won. So he's 2 behind Jack Nicklaus, which is all time lah. So Jack Nicklaus is 20. But he has 82 PGA Tour wins, which is the most of all time. He has won 7 consecutive PGA Tour wins. And I think if you would ask like dominant, right? Like he's the most in his prime. He's the most unbeatable golf player, lah.
But I feel like golf also is also like a very psychological game. So like during that cheating the fiasco, right? Like he improved a lot because like everybody keep flaming him. Everybody, you know, like when he went on, like everybody keep booing him. Like you know, it's very sad. At that time, honestly, it's like so like honestly, like as an athlete, right? So many other athletes do like so much worse than what Tiger Woods do, right? But it's just cause like Tiger Woods is that famous. Like every commercial last time, like you go to watch a movie,
every
right?
single
All the
commercial, bro.
watch commercials, like Tech Heuer, wow, every Rolex, everything using like it's always Tiger Woods. Like,
Yeah. But I was gonna say, right, if you were to ask any person on the road, like, can you name a golfer, right? They can only name one most of the time. They only people say, I know Tiger Woods. They don't know like the rest,
and
like what the filmmakers.
if they don't play golf, correct.
Yeah, you ask anybody, right? They'll just say, I know Tiger Woods. Plus, he has an iconic look, like the red with the black.
Yes. Correct. That's why I say I love it now, right? And I love how the fact that he managed to bounce back from like all that control. You know, like usually if normal athletes at the point if they really don't love the sport, right, they would have given up at the point of time. You know, like it's like he's worth so much. I was shocked at like how much he's worth. You know, he's worth like $1.1 billion. I was just like, wow, that's crazy, man. But because anybody else
he's on top, Plus, he's like African American, so he's like, it's unique.
Correct.
I mean, like, especially African American, they can play golf. You know what I mean? Like
golf. Correct. Golf, crazy.
He also has some like Thai ancestry or something, or some mix somewhere.
Yes, I do think so. Yeah, like some long lineage of but yeah.
Okay, I got to claim the Asian, lineage somewhere.
Yeah, got to put the Asian heritage there. All right, Ali and Woods is off the board. Okay, Jin Yong, who are you going to take next? I think this is an interesting spot for you and me. Yeah, the next two.
Yeah, next two.
Well, I'm very, very torn, man. I have a feel that if I don't pick now, somebody's going to take. Should I go Asian or should I go for medals? Okay, I'm going to go for medals because I think this person is too great for me to miss.
Why don't you go for the Asian?
No. Only person to have won 8 Olympic gold medals in one Olympics, Michael Phelps.
Okay, this is a good pick.
Iconic one for sure.
Iconic.
Yeah, I tell you. And then even more iconic was, I remember Joseph Schooling beat him and then they had 3-person win second together. They all touched the ball at the same time.
Was your Asian going to be Joseph
special one? No. I'm sorry. No.
Was the Asian going to be Joseph Schooling? Hey, you know he beat Michael Phelps. Yeah, but Phelps is like it's incredible athlete. 28. I think 28 medals, right? I think for swimming is the most, and then I think 23 gold medals. Just like insane, like you know what I mean? Like
He's
famous for that.
In one Olympics, I remember, and he was like, wow. I watching the Olympics, I'm like, why like even the relay, right? Like he wasn't doing, like his teammates saved it for him. It's like literally, the God wants him to win the Olympics. It's like 8 gold medals, like crazy, man. That one I'm watching.
Yeah. Plus, he's like really diverse. Like any stroke also he's good. You know what I mean? Like there's no weakness, lah.
Correct. Yeah.
And like he's better at some and others, but he's like good at all, lah.
His body is really shaped like a. He's not shaped human. The shoulders, the hand. Wow. You look like
I remember that Olympics, everybody just everything is just Michael Phelps.
Yeah, correct.
The Olympics.
Yeah, I think like even I remember at the time that 08, right? I think that was the Olympics that he just like completely dominated. Fine. Swimming has a lot of events, but I think what's surprising is like his longevity, right? It's not just 08, and then when we talk about how he's in the same era as like Schooling, it's like, oh my goodness, this dude's been around like for forever.
Yeah. But you look at those photos, Schooling with
correct. Like he was a fan, then he like took a photo at the Olympics, like, hey, I'm with my idol. Then after he gets to compete with him because the idol really lasted that long.
Plus like it's not that we want to like shit on Schooling or whatever, right? But if like but to be honest, for someone like if you look at Schooling, he had 1 gold medal, then after that it's like the drop off is quite big.
Disappeared.
But but for someone like Phelps that is like for so many like successive like Olympics to go and hold on for that long, it's just like incredible, like the dedication of this. But he's famous for having that like ridiculous diet, right? Like the don't know how many pancakes he eat or don't know what I can't.
So like 10,000 calories. I don't know, making a number up right now or something.
Yeah, 10,000
Plus he believe in Chinese medicine. He do the cupping one. He got do cupping and acupuncture one.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Michael Phelps is a good pick. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll go with this. I hope the Asian circles back to me.
Okay. I was gonna take either or. So I was gonna say like I'll take Phelps or I'll take the other one, which is both are Olympians lah. So I'm gonna take Usain Bolt next because
all right, okay.
Nice.
This
Nice.
two of my
Because-
Nice one.
and actually I would have put Bolt above Phelps because for this one simple reason, right? Not everyone can swim, but okay, if you're someone barring a physical disability, right? Everyone has run before. You know what I mean? Like every single person in the world, right? They have done some form of like running or like school or whatever. So if you think about it, the barrier to entry for this particular sport is not very high. It's a low barrier to entry. So actually everyone can participate in this sport lah. But for this one person to like, how to say, win gold medals in 3 successive Olympics. So he's won in from 08 to 16, he's won the 100 meters and 200 meters. So for 12 years, right, he won the gold medal.
You just wreck.
He just wrecked everybody's. Yeah. So I think that for me, I easily like I will put him the top few lah. Like on my board, right? I put him third just because I think running is such a like everyone can do it, but he's the fastest. You know what I mean? Like yeah.
And they
Plus, he
market
also
him
has
very
an
well.
iconic pose.
They market him very well as well. Yeah.
Like,
Do you
like
remember
how
the
on
first
earth,
time he won the 100-meter sprint and then he like the last 30 meters he like slowed down and smiled into the camera. Wow, that was just
Yes,
smart.
wow. He turned back and smiled at the second. Wow.
And he still broke the world record. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I can always remember that kind of replay, right? And then you just see like the distance of the difference between him and like the second. That was madness.
And you think about it, right? That second guy is the second fastest guy in the world.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
you think
They still to
context
smile
of it.
him. Yeah. It's crazy.
Actually, they were actually quite fast also lah. Because if you look at the sprinting records nowadays, some of them on their good days they would have still won gold today lah. But wow, sorry, in the same era as Usain Bolt.
Yeah, and some of the ironic thing is that a lot of the great runners, right, also they came from Jamaica. So it's like the Usafa Power or like all the other like super sprinters. Johan Blake, all this, right? But they all lose out to Usain Bolt. Plus, I think it's like how crazy his name is Bolt. You know what I mean? Like,
it's I don't know how he managed. He's so smart to pick the name. It's like how he get the name to. Wow, it's so.
Yeah, it's like the Riddler. His name is what, the Edward Nigma. Like just that sort of coincidence or whatever.
And I always like hear all these athletes quotes, right? It's so fun. It's so gangster. It's like his number 2. One of his famous quotes is, "I don't like losing anyway."
Shook, love it.
Yeah.
Plus, he always got his
iconic pose, right?
That one iconic pose. Yeah. Usain Bolt. Okay. Usain Bolt.
Thumbnail.
All right, Gordon. You get back-to-back picks. Are you gonna shock the world again? Go back to
pick a full tennis 5 picks.
No. I don't think. Maybe I'll come close to it. So my next pick definitely. I think for this next pick, he has broken many hearts for all of our Malaysian compatriots, especially at the Olympics.
Oh no! I know who you're talking about. That's a good pick.
Lintan. Super
yes. Oh man.
Yeah. I'm keeping it in the racket family, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you ever watched like Lintan in like 08 or maybe I guess 08 was when everybody was watching Olympics, right? And then how like super aggressive he is with all his strokes. I love it. It's, especially when the other players are a bit more like defensive, and then he's just so like assertive.
Yeah.
In his prime, that guy was madness.
Yeah,
he looks like he won't tire out one. You see him play, like at the end of a match, he still got the energy to go raw and run one round. Like you just finished because his playing style is so aggressive. He just whack one. Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure he's like one of the most hated men in Malaysia. Like for sure. Yeah, and then he has like that epic rivalry with we shall not name that person, but he has like an epic rivalry with that particular person. And for majority of the time, that guy couldn't beat Lintan. I mean, like same thing, like the second best, but this guy was the best. You know what I mean? Like it's just very hard to stop.
Yeah. If I'm not wrong, head to head, the Malaysian only won a few matches only. About
it's pretty balanced. Yeah, that one's in balance for sure.
Only. Yeah, the rest was actually won by Lintan.
Yeah, he has his number lah.
Yeah. And all right. I mean, just the last No, okay, I won't say anymore. Yeah, I think it's more about the Malaysian than Lintan itself. But
I think he'll come out later.
yeah, gonna keep it zipped.
Yeah,
Got it.
All right, your next pick, Gordon.
Oh my gosh, back to back. Oh, I love this spot. Okay, great. I think all right, I gotta diversify a little bit. You know, I can't just keep talking about racket sports in here. I think there's another name that you know, when we talk about boxing, right? I mean, Brandon brought up Muhammad Ali. I think maybe I'll swing a little bit and go to MMA in this one. I think I'll go with Anderson Silva.
Oh, this is a good pick. Okay, Anderson the Spider Silva. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that UFC winning streak of 16 over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were like an MMA fan.
Yeah.
I won't say I'm a fan. I think I watch it every now and then. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. Those high profile matches, but no, I don't follow it too closely. But if I remember one name from it, Anderson Silva. There you go.
Yeah, and in his prime, right? It's like similar to Federer for me. It's like in his prime, he is the best, like the most skilled, like fighter. Yeah, it's like he really is so fast. Like his ability and awareness to go and like move or maneuver away or this. The only issue with Silva is that like at the end of his career, he started to like do sort of like
those gimmicky things.
Yeah, not like he's out of his prime already, but like he's out of his prime, but he still wants to fight. So it's like it's easier to lose because like all these up and comers. I mean, like yeah lah. That's why he ended up losing to Jake Paul in boxing and stuff like that. But
I remember that one. Okay lah. I tend to think
that's not MMA ma.
Yeah, but I tend to think that we always remember like for athletes like we always remember their brightest moments.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, not like when nobody remembers Michael Jordan when he's on the Wizards.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Like that part is written away from history.
Yeah. Let's not talk about it.
Same with Silva.
Yeah. But I agree. That Silva is someone that especially when I was growing up, right? Because now I watch UFC at every pay-per-view I watch. But I didn't get to watch that era that much. But I mean, like in the prime also, it's like everyone just talks about, oh yeah, he's the best. Like the ability to move, the Spider, Anderson Spider Silva.
Yeah.
All right, Anderson the Spider Silva is off the board. I'm up next. I'm really torn between two. I would say the top like 7 are gone or 8 are gone. Okay, I'm going to take this person next. Just to like sort of like dive into the world of racket sports.
Okay, we can dwell there for a while.
Yeah. Okay, so I thought about like who I want to pick specifically on like each board or whatever. And I think when I was doing, I really put up like about 25 names that I thought like I would consider putting on this thing. Out of the 25 names, there's only one woman that I wanted to put on the team. Yeah.
No, that was my next pick.
So in the world of racket sports, I know that there are other great like female tennis players, but I don't want to say in case like Gordon you pick it or whatever lah. Yeah, but I'm gonna pick Serena Williams.
That was my next pick. Yes.
Nice pick.
Yeah, and the reason I picked it is because I think that I want to have a female, and I think she's clearly the best female tennis player. So
yeah, she's the most memorable, and she's the most memorable female athlete. Yeah,
as in like if you were to name female athletes, there's not that many that people know on the top of their head. Like, do you know what I mean? Like if you ask a person that is like a common like, hey, can you name me a female athlete? They'll be like, the woman that yells a lot.
The most,
Plus she complained during her loss to who's that, Naomi Osaka.
Yeah, in the US Open, is it Serena?
So much controversies,
In order to appreciate Serena, I think if you look at historical context, right? And
yes,
can you name any other woman in like our current era for tennis that has come close to Serena's Grand Slam record?
No,
that is how untouchable she is. And then like if to imagine, for women, the women's game there's only 3 sets, right? So not like the men's game, you have best of 5. Best of 5 means that you can, if your engine's a bit slow, you give it some time, you probably could catch up like Djokovic, right? He's bound to come back somehow. Yeah. But the women's game, you gotta be good from like the get go, and that's like that. Yeah.
Yeah, true, man. Speaking of like her Grand Slam sort of win rate, okay, she has she's made it 33 Grand Slams. She's won 23. She's lost 10, but I think it's still incredible that she's been to 33.
Like finals, right? Oh,
yeah, Grand Slam finals.
She is a monster.
Yeah,
I think
the
highest men's Grand Slam winner only won 22, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, 22. Correct.
Yeah, 2-person 122.
But yeah, if you talk like dominant females, I think she's the only one. I think there's another like dominant female athlete, but she after she lost, then she never was able to like bounce back from it lah. So yeah, for me, Serena Williams. And I also iconic because she's always is like Serena and I mean like there always be a sort of like a sisterhood.
Sister.
Yeah. All right. Very happy to take Serena Williams. Okay. Jin Yong, you're up next. Who are you gonna take?
I was just telling Gordon that he took my Asian pick. So now I have to think about this Asian thing.
Hey, Asia got a lot of athletes, please.
No, but there's only a few that can be that's on the the best of all time. Let me see.
I think there's one more that like he can fight for best of all time. Yeah.
I think so. Okay, I shall take a risk with this. I'm going to pick an Asian. And same as Lionel Messi, he used to be top in the same wavelength with another boxer. So much so that when they actually fought, and then when he actually lost, there was so much controversy behind it.
Yeah.
And then after that, if I'm not wrong, after he retired from boxing, he actually went to become a mayor in his home country.
Yeah,
congressman, correct. I'm going to pick Manny Pacquiao.
That's a good pick.
Man, but he lost quite a few times already. Like now.
Yes, correct. Ever since he lost to Floyd Mayweather, he started losing a lot.
Yeah, but in his pomp, in his prime, Pacquiao is different level. Like he's my favorite boxer of all time, and it's because if you to look at it from the context, right, he's fearless. Like if you to see like Mayweather, right, he pick and choose like who he wants to fight.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like
he's very technical.
Yeah, it's like and he waits for the person. But this Pacquiao is like I'll anywhere, anytime, right? You want to fight, I'll fight. And then you are what weight class, right? I don't care. Like we'll fight. So he's the only champion that's 8 weight class. He's the champion.
Correct.
8 different divisions. He's won the champion. He's also like he was named the fighter of the decade in the 2000s. He has 12 major titles. He's a 4-time lineal boxing champion. So do you know how the lineal championship works in boxing? It's like they believe in the concept that if you want to be the man, right, you have to beat the man. So it's like you have to beat the previous person that held on to the belt. It's not like, you know, like you vacate the belt, then you win somebody like that, right? Yeah. So he's a 4-time lineal champion. And he was on the recent Running Man episode.
Yes, I remember this one, yeah.
Yeah. As in like the latest one, because they went to the Philippines, right? Then they invited him to the house or this.
I think to add to what Midat said, right, I think the thing about him is that whenever he spots opening, you can see him just rush in with like his punches, and then it's like, when you see the opponent like scared, really, then they will back off.
Yeah.
Quite a very lightning fast fighter, very fast, very his footwork and his punches very, very good.
Yeah, I'll say the footwork. The footwork is like what separates him from me. Like also considering the fact, right, that boxing is a very like reach, like is how like your like the length of your arms or this. Right? He does not have like long arms or whatever. But
he's like I remember him like as being a T-Rex.
Yeah, in a way.
A T-Rex southpaw, right? I mean, in that sense, yeah.
Yeah, but his ability to close the distance with his speed is like unmatched to me. Yeah. All right. Pacquiao is off the board. Okay, Brandon, back to back to match your Ali and Woods.
Back to back. Honestly, I feel like I'm just going to go with my own favorites already. Because I can't think of like my mind. I can't think of like
the rest of them. Who you're going to pick now. I know it. I know it.
You know?
We play too much video games together, I know.
And honestly, the one, especially if you're talking about like we mentioned him a few times in this already, that like if you call him the best, right? This like he and his rival, right? This is the rival, right? That they all both like they just scooped up every record ever. Like so the person I'm picking is Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, nice
Cristiano Ronaldo. The 3 times FIFA Man Player, 5 times Ballon d'Or, 14 times Football of the Year.
This is really a player that I would say is like a machine. He trained so hard. He really trained his body until you see him score, you take out his shot and wow, this one is not human.
Yeah, no, it's like when you're talking about like the greatest like football player, like when you mention Messi, it's like they're always on the same. They're always comparing. Yeah, they're always like head to head. Like both him and Messi, like they like if without both him and
Healthy
Messi,
respect,
right, like wow, really is great. The game really will change a lot so much. Like every year will be different winners, but because of both Messi and Ronaldo, right, they took out all the attention. They took out all the like from all the everywhere. But now that's why it's like so sad to see that now they are in their twilight already. You know, like they are reaching the end of the era.
Yeah. And then there was one point, right? It's really just like, oh, this year is Messi's year, this year is Ronaldo's year, this year is Messi's year. It's like just constant back and forth, non-stop, man. Yeah, but he's a very different player from Messi. Like Messi is more, how to say,
skill, trickery, the kind of like magician.
Skill, trickery, speed, the passing, all this. But if you like to talk like Ronaldo, the physical like dominance, the speed, the aerial ability, all this.
Wow, aerial ability.
Yeah, different source.
The one when he jumps for the real
he's got a bad rep now. Yeah. That's why, like he's like how high in the air, and then you're like, oh my goodness,
yeah.
But I also think, right, Ronaldo, how do I say? You'll never see a rivalry like that ever in sports again. For two people to be the best in their sport for that long,
for so long,
it's like they always compare different eras because they say like, oh, this person this era, this person this era. Like we never got to see this person play this person this era, but we got to see it for like 15 years. It's like they go head to head every week, like every year you get to see
every year, every World Cup. You're just waiting for that moment. Wow, it's crazy.
I remember when Real Madrid versus Barcelona was not just a clash of two clubs, it was a clash of two players, even the clash of two managers. I remember Mourinho and Guardiola was so entertaining, watching them fight on the sidelines.
Beautiful storytelling, love it. All right, Ronaldo is off the board. Brandon, who's next?
Honestly, I feel like I don't know whether he'll be a great pick. I felt like I wanted to leave him for my last pick.
Pick an Asian.
I need some representation right now.
Asian representation. Maybe for my last pick, I shall pick my next favorite, the closer.
I knew it.
My favorite basketball player, Kobe. Kobe.
I was gonna say, right, like we play so much NBA 2K together, right? It's like
Kobe. Like honestly, the last time I played 2K with Minette knows. Like that was the era where LA Lakers had nobody, right, but Kobe. like literally, their team was so horrible, right? But it's like not saying the worst, but they were so like compared to the rest, right? They were just like literally my only objective in the game is just pass to Kobe, then shoot.
This was before.
Was this the area of Kwame Brown? All this?
No, it was the like maybe just him and Lamar. Like there's no
Lamar. Yes.
There's no Gasol.
Okay.
There's no
Gasol. There's no Gasol to guide by them. Wow. He's one of those people that really had had the A game mentality. Like literally, I see even to now I see like videos like motivational videos. Right, it's always on like Kobe speaking. Like
Black Mamba mentality,
Black Mamba mentality, yes. Wow.
You hear all the players talk about him, right? Like he will wake up at 4 a.m, go to the gym workout. And then even if he like traveling, right, when he's not in his hometown, no excuse one, he'll book some high school gym or whatever just to go there 4 a.m, 5 a.m to work out.
Yeah.
All the players think
it's the same as Jordan. Like the teammates all hated them. Correct. They hate him.
Yeah, I always blame Kobe, like, when you play pickup basketball at the court, right? And then when the guy takes like a horrible contested shot, and then it's like, oh my god. This guy was like too much Kobe.
And they always shout, Kobe! Kobe!
The ball fade away. Then it's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. He was my enemy growing up, man. Because I was a Celtics fan. Like but then it was only after he retired, then you value how important he was to the league. And how important he is to your life, because it is like, to be honest, all of the NBA superstars that like after him, you know what I mean, they all look up to him, like Kobe Bryant, because he was the one. Especially if you look at that Olympics where they all went, right, all of those superstars, right, it was him that was like, I'm not doing enough, Like I'm really not like working out as hard as this Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean? It's just different level.
Mindset. Different level. Because at that point of time, for the basketball Olympics, right? It's like who can honestly like USA. Everybody was very complacent like this. Like, how can we ever lose with our team like this? It's like the best of the best. The best is all here. It's like everyone else is just maybe one or two. We got like
they lost in 04, correct?
They
lost
in 04.
They lost the semi-finals.
Yeah. Then Argentina won that particular the Olympics. But my favorite Kobe moment, right, is actually in the Olympics, in the 08 Olympics, because
the Gasol one, is it?
No, yeah, because they played
against
Spain. Yeah, against each other in the finals, right? And then like first off, when he start the game, he said, "I'm going to hit Gasol like damn hard. Like I don't care.
I'm going to just not to set the tone right." Yeah.
But if you watch that game, right, the Spain they pulled it really very close, and then it's like you can see everyone was like, "Oh shucks!" Like at the time it was like no one like that. But in that moment, right, Kobe was like, "No, I got this." You know what I mean? Like, I'm the leader, right? I'm gonna like we asked the thing. My favorite Kobe moment.
Yeah.
And rest in peace, Kobe Bryant.
I mean, honestly, tragic, it's just what a tragic way. Yeah, it's honestly he's seeing Michael Jordan and his other big teammate that speak about him, right? It's just like it's one of the saddest things that it was heartbreaking, like hearing watching that. It's just like so heartbreaking to watch, like legends talking about other legends and like people who change the game. Like end of the day, so it's like wow, like it really. That's why I say it's like the memory of him. It's like even before that he was really a legend, and honestly his Black Mamba mentality is crazy. Like to this day, like I literally was just watching this like today, and one of the videos he was saying that one of the interviews he went on, he said that what's the least amount of sleep you went on to play a game for? Then he said 0. I didn't sleep the previous night because like his babies were like his kids were sick, and like he had to like make sure that they are okay, and like they had to make sure that like he take over to watch over the night. Then the next day he just went out and he had a game on. Then he said no one wouldn't, then the interviewer said, "Then you still went to play?" Then he said yeah. No, I have to win my A game. No excuse. Like I don't expect people to care. I don't expect people to understand what I'm going through. I don't expect them to like what, because why should they? Then after I said, that's why no matter what I have, it's my own things that I'm going to bring my own my A game, regardless of whatever happens. Wow, it's just like wow, what a man.
What a man. Plus, he's the only I would say I think he's probably the only athlete that has an Oscar. For a short film, so he has an Oscar. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Okay, Tiong, you're up next. Who are you gonna take?
I'm going to take somebody that I was just talking to Midat about this on Monday, because Eldad asked me, do I watch NFL?
Oh,
and then what Super Bowl did I actually remember watching?
Yeah,
I'm going to pick Tom Brady.
This is a good pick, Tom Brady.
So he's a very nice man, like off the football field. But when he actually play the game, right, you see his face. It's crazy. It's like he's possessed really.
Plus, Brady, like he has a very famous story, right? Because how the NFL draft works is that it's a bit different from the NBA draft. NBA draft, there's only 2 draft rounds. But in the NFL, right, there are 30 teams, and then there are about like 12 rounds.
5 rounds, I think. 4 or 5
12,
rounds.
12.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. And he was like picked in the like 8th round. Like, so he's like like ranked so like unappreciated.
Correct.
But now he's like known as the greatest American football player ever. Like 7 Super Bowls, 3 MVPs, 5 Super Bowl MVPs, and quarterback is a tough position to play because it's like it's the team literally like depends on you to win the game. It's like one person dictate the whole game. Like good pick, man. Tom Brady. Only thing is that the only sad thing about Tom Brady is like not a lot of like Asian people watch American football.
That is very, very true.
Yeah, if it was like if it was like a bunch of Americans here, right? He confirmed number 1 will be gone.
The first year. Well, I think on par with Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Probably hockey also, but yeah.
Okay.
Giving away picks,
freebies.
All right. I'm up next. Okay. A lot of the people that I want are actually gone, but I think there's one left that I really love. And if you ever, I don't know if you'll watch lah, but I would say that even if you don't watch, you know the name. So if you ever watch like F1, right? I don't like people say that the new generation, the winner is the best. But in my era, right, from what I've watched, the iconic one is Michael Schumacher.
Michael.
Yeah,
Nice one.
yeah, and
Michael.
yeah, Michael Schumacher, he is, in my opinion, the greatest racer of all time. He has 91 wins, 155 podiums, 68 pole positions, 40 wins from pole, 77 fastest laps. And I think what made him even more iconic is the fact that he rode for Ferrari in their prime. So, like, how to say, that look of a like red racer. Because do you know the story about why Ferrari is red? They asked the color. They say that if you were to ask a kid to draw a car, right, what color would they paint the car? Every kid would paint it red. Yeah. So that's why it's like they match the thing. Yeah. If you ever watched the movie Ford versus Ferrari, right, that's why they brought it up. And Michael Schumacher is someone that I think transcends racing. So like everyone, when they think of a race driver, they always think him and one more person. So that's what I think. And
him and his son.
yeah, him and his son. The only tragic thing about Michael Schumacher now is that he's not in a good physical state. Because he's in a I don't really know what's the condition, but he's not
condition.
Yeah. So get well soon, Michael. Yeah, I'm happy to take Michael Schumacher. None of y'all watch F1, right?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
If Paul was here, probably he'll
Yeah,
Paul and L. Yeah. But I'm happy to take Michael Schumacher. All right. Gordon, you get back to end off your team.
Okay. All right. I think right now in my team, right, I think we're lacking a bit of representation in terms of like the gender department. You know,
Gender department.
Yeah, I think that's the first thing that flags out to me. So my next pick is gonna be someone who is so good that apparently she beats the man as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think our sports right now we're talking about is all the popular ones, but I think we need to go. I'm going to go back a bit. I'm going to go look at the underappreciated.
Okay.
Yeah, and this person, I'm not sure if you guys know, is Courtney Dauwalter,
No.
the ultra marathon runner. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But so I think the whole how a mindset works is that. I think for me, even running like 2.4 for IPPT, like doing a 10K is like, oh, this is like painful, man. But she does multi-day, like a few hundred miles of running non-stop through and just like crazy pain tolerance. And the way she describes it is, like, why not? If the mindset is like, oh, like pain is bad, what happens if pain is good? Like she enjoys that kind of like drive of just exploring how far her mind can go.
So she's a bit crazy.
It's a bit crazy, but but this is how like she's so dominant, right, that she can actually like beat the man like the longer races even. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, right, I don't even like running after the bus. For someone to like be able to run like for such a long, that's why like sprinting to me, right, I always think like, oh, but when you see like people run distance or like marathons or this, like it's very like why do you torture yourself?
Her story is that she used to be like a teacher, and then only in 2017 she became like a professional runner.
Wow. So she's like in her prime now, like only.
I guess the primes for ultra marathon runners last a bit longer. She's like 38, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
38 running.
Yeah, 38. Yeah,
wow.
and like doing like
crazy,
crazy stuff, man.
Yeah, that means that she probably lost like years in her prime during the lockdown period, like when they couldn't do marathons.
True.
Yeah. If not, she would have been more dominant than, you know what I mean? Like, could have been even more.
Yeah. Only can train, by yourself. Then you isolation and you go out and run.
Yeah, run in the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't imagine, man. Okay. Courtney Dauwalter is off the board. Okay. Got your next pick. Your last one.
Oh shucks! I was really thinking of like making this a troll one, but I think we can talk about the honorable mentions later, and I'll bring it up. Okay, so another part of representation that I thought was lacking was I'm going to look at like the Winter Olympics now.
Oh, okay, interesting.
All right. And then for the last pick of my Gordons of all time, okay,
the whole time.
I'm gonna pick Stephen Bradbury.
Okay.
Stephen Bradbury. Relatively unknown figure, but I think he's like my goat of like never giving up in a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay. So the story goes back to like, in 1990, I think 1992, I think he won like a bronze medal for Australia. So you would never think of Australia as like like any competition in Winter Olympics.
Yeah, Winter Olympics.
So like 1994, someone cuts in a race, right? Some other skater cuts his quads. And he takes so long to like rehab. Yeah. I mean, like in the race, and then his quads get cut and things like that. But most importantly, fast forward 2002, right? So I think 1998 he couldn't. I think he got injured, and then 2002 it's like I think it's going to be his last few Olympics already, and the Winter Olympics, and I think at that point it was just it's so much luck on how he actually got his gold medal.
Okay.
Right? In the semi-finals, he won because, rather he went to the finals because in the heats, one of them got disqualified. I think they crashed out. Yeah,
Okay.
and the final round, all his other three competition all crashed out.
Wow.
Speed skating. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you can look it up on YouTube for like that moment. Like he was never the fastest. He just played it cool and he just lagged behind everyone. And he still won.
Can I ask, like, how do you end up liking winter sports? Or like, like it's not a very common, like, is it because you watched it on TV or what? Like the Winter Olympics or is it
you watch a movie
like,
that linked together. Like the Korean, in Korea it's very popular because there's a lot of movies on like Korea, like winter
figure
sports.
skating. I don't know, not figure skating. The speed skating.
Winter, and the winter jump. The jump.
Yeah.
Recently it was curling, I remember. Last Olympic it was curling because their curling team got very far.
Yeah. But how come you like interested in winter sports? Go on.
I like to diversify like my my appetite of sports every now and then.
Okay.
Winter Olympics only comes once every 4 years. You know, I don't watch all those like world championships for skating and things, but I think it just it's nice to appreciate. But yeah, I have to admit that it's not the biggest draw because you can't do it yourself. Like all this skating, all this skiing. If I could, then maybe I could better appreciate if we had more chances to ski, but not here in Singapore.
Yeah.
This
is actually an interesting pick. And I always find it very nice when I like get to learn a bit about learn something from each draft lah. Right. So Stephen Bradbury, correct? If I'm not wrong, Stephen Bradbury.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Stephen Bradbury is off the board. I'm up next. I am so torn on who I want to take. I already have a tennis player, so I don't want to take another tennis player. Okay, so I'm going to take this person, and first off, I must say the story about how I came up with this pick. Because honestly, right, everyone forgets that this person is an athlete, and I was like, I have this friend that is currently stationed in Australia, right? Me and him are very close, but every once in a while he watches the drafts, and I was like, so I just so happened today. I told him like, hey, we're doing like the greatest athletes draft lah. Like, can you think of like people that, or like then we discussed like, or whatever. Then he said, oh my god, bro, I just thought of a damn good sleeper one. Then after that, his name is Balram, right? And then he says that, bro, everyone forgets, right, that Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's a 7-time Olympian, Mr. Olympia. Everyone just remembers him as the I'll be back.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But I'm going to take
back.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, and if you were to talk about bodybuilding, it's a extremely difficult sport. Like the ability to, how to say, you have to go and like build your body up. You have to like build even the smallest of like little muscle definition, your back, your arms, or whatever. Yeah, and he's a 7-time Mr. Olympia, and I think that he's the face of bodybuilding. Like everyone knows. Yeah, he's the reason that bodybuilding became huge because everyone knows it. Like, oh, Arnold, Mr. Olympia, and I think he's a cool action movie star. Yeah, every take it. Yeah,
he's also a mayor for California.
Mayor for California. Yeah, Terminator, Commando, Predator, Total Recall. He also got bad movies like Batman and Robin. Mr. Freeze. Yeah, I'm happy to take
Freeze.
The Twins, Kindergarten Cop, Jingle All the Way.
Oh my gosh, Twins was so shit. That was horrible.
Last Action Hero. Yeah, I can name them all. In this I'm happy to take the I'll be back. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Gotta admit, man, I didn't think of him at all. In this one. He got me
everyone thinks
good.
of him is like it's the action star. You know what I mean? Like everyone forgets that he was like a bodybuilder lah. Yeah. Arnold. Plus, if you ever watch the documentary called Pumping Iron, I highly recommend it. It's they talk about his last Mr. Olympia, right, against Lou Ferrigno. And then it just goes into his mindset about how he's a bit like Jordan in a way. Like he likes to crush and then like mentally, challenge the opposition. Yeah. All right. Arnold, I'll be back. So off the board. Okay, Ting Yong. Who are you going to take?
Oh my god. I'm torn between a current player or a retired player. Both of the same sport.
Oh.
Oh. I think
Can
I
you say
know.
what sport first? Can you say what sport first?
Baseball.
Oh.
Yeah.
Famous indeed. Okay.
No, I can guess the retired one.
You let me say my pick first. Okay. I think I'll go with the current player. Okay.
Okay.
This guy, he still has a lot of years in front of him. But he recently won the World Series. Not the World Series, but the country go against country one. I don't know what it's called. So yeah. So and then he's so far one of the very, very rare players that can do both pitch and bat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then he's very, very effective in both. So I'm going to pick Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, that's a good pick. Shohei Ohtani. He plays for
Angels. LA
yeah, the Angels, right? Yeah.
Yeah. The team is not very good, but he's one of the very rare few that can pitch very good and still bat very good also.
Oh, I thought you were going to pick another Asian from the same spot. But yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we'll leave it for honorable mentions. Okay, just in case Brandon wants to pick another Asian.
I think baseball is really one of the rare few sports that they got a lot of players from the Asian side, like Japanese, Koreans,
yeah.
Taiwanese also a few. Taiwanese I don't think have. Don't have. I forget. Yeah, anyway, got a lot of Japanese and Koreans lah. Yeah, very, very rare you will see players that can both pitch and bat one. If you are better, you are better. Yeah, if you're a pitcher, you are a close, or they'll put you as a pitcher or a closer or whatever. But he's one of the rare few, right? Like he can bat good enough to be a effective batter, but at the same time, right, he's so good that he's like a closer that can shut out like 10, 11 people at one time, that kind.
Yeah, he's a world class like pitcher lah. Still.
Yeah.
Interesting. Last pick, Brandon. Who are you gonna take?
I'm going to pick. Actually, I don't know whether I think this is considered as an athlete. I believe so.
I know who you're gonna take already.
You know who I'm gonna take again?
Yes.
Is it? I thought it was. I feel like this is a very out there pick.
Yeah, it's out
there.
And
I feel this is a very out there pick. But this is he's the reason why I feel like I will pick him is because like if in his sport, right, he's the most prominent and he's the most famous. And growing up, I played his video game and I love his video game. I spent super long hours on his video game. And it's Tony Hawk!
Oh, nice one.
Tony Hawk!
That's actually a sleeper pick. I wasn't thinking of
sleeper pick.
Tony Hawk.
I wrote it down.
Tony Hawk is very
because like honestly in skateboard, right, he's the one that I think he's literally the most successful like skateboarder. Like he makes like his net worth and like how he's transitioned. Like he skateboarded until I think like only recently when he retired. I think at age 54.
Yeah. Plus he's a great skateboarder. Like especially when you think of like vertical skateboarding, not like those like street skateboarding, but those like inclined verts or whatever.
Yeah, the verts. Yeah.
Everyone always thinks of Tony Hawk in the 900. You know, like his
the 900 in 1999.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because he won. He was the top vertical skater, right? From 1984 to 1996.
Yes.
In a row. That's literally 12 years in a row. And he didn't stop there. Like I think after he there was a pause after he won again in 1999 or something like that. Yeah.
I saw like a video of him recently because he's very old now. It's like he tried to do the 900 again.
Yes,
like,
I saw that also. Yeah.
So the idea is that you have to spin on your skateboard. I think like three times.
3 times. Yeah. 3 times and then
2.5 times. Yeah, it's really very difficult, like, especially considering that he's a bit lengthy. He's not like a short person or whatever. Yeah. But I was also gonna say, right, in terms of Tony Hawk, a lot of skateboarders owe their career to him because of that video game, no? Like, like what Bob Burnquist, Bucky Lasek, and all these, they all owe their career to him because he's the one that like made them famous. Like when you play the video games, you're like, oh, I'm gonna use like Bucky Lasek, I'm gonna use Bob Burnquist, or this. Yeah. This is a great Tony Hawk.
Yeah, so he's the creator of more than 80 highly technical moves. Tricks. Like last time you what was it? Like the ollie to the twist. When you remember, then you score the points. Then you like spam the buttons. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm getting points. Jump, do the spin. Tony.
What? Pop shove it, kick flick to India.
Yeah.
I also don't know what Brady did
The
there.
Saran rap, the front side 540, the front side 540 rodeo flip. that one that you find a long staircase and you just like the grind. Well, I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved
too much
it.
fun.
Old school games.
Oh man, I actually think it's a good pick, Tony Hawk. Okay.
That's a damn good sleeper pick. Yeah.
Now, this is the fun part. I think there's a lot of actually honorable mentions. All right, let's get right into. Okay, let me read the teams first. Then after we get the honorable mentions. All right, Gordon, for your team is Federer, Lin Tan, Anderson Silva, Courtney Dauwalter, and Stephen Bradbury. For myself is Michael Jordan, Usain Bolt, Serena Williams, Michael Schumacher, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. For Jin Yong is Messi, Michael Phelps, Manny Pacquiao, Tom Brady, and Shohei Ohtani. For Brandon, it is the greatest of all time: Ali, Tiger Woods, Cristiano Ronaldo, Kobe Bryant, and the Hawk, Tony Hawk. All right, let's go into honorable mentions, boys. Name it off.
Brandon got a damn solid team. Although he picked us.
Yeah, it's a good team. It's a good team.
Actually, I was deciding between Shohei Ohtani and Jackie Robinson.
Oh, is it? I thought you were talking.
okay.
I thought you were talking about
Babe
Babe. I thought Babe Ruth. Yes, I'll pick. Yeah,
No,
it's-
I picked Jackie Robinson because I just finished watching a
42.
movie about him and how he was the first
Sorry?
African American to play baseball when the
Correct.
when the baseball league was formed. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a movie called 42.
Yes.
What's that? Chadwick Boseman played him, Jackie Robinson.
Oh,
Yeah.
Also rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah,
Chadwick Boseman,
RB,
yeah.
RB.
Yeah. Honorable mentions, boys.
I was.
Wait,
Oh, sorry,
go first, Brett.
go ahead, bro.
I go first. Okay, actually, there was one I was thinking about. It's neither a male or female, but this one is so famous that it's mentioned a few times in the show, and also it's an old movie, right? Secretariat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a horse. It's a race horse.
Yeah, it's a race horse.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, are you talking about the Bruce Jenner?
Voted Woman of the Year.
it's a
Oh, okay. I think I exchanged your reaction before I said the name. Then huh? Like,
No, but I know the horse, but I was like, it's not a guy, it's not a guy. Oh, Bruce Jenner. yeah, who's also a good. Yeah, I was not expecting. Secretary, yeah. Any more?
I think soccer, you have the name Pele. Pele.
Pele.
Yeah.
I was quite surprised nobody chose Djokovic and Nadal after Federer was off the board.
Yeah. I was contemplating
because
for my last pick.
Yeah. Because in terms of Grand Slams, they actually have 2 more than Nadal. Was it 2 or 4?
it's not about the winning, man. It's not about the winning.
But actually, right, if you were to look at Nadal versus Federer, like Federer struggled against Nadal quite a lot, right?
Correct, quite a bit.
He struggled like so much.
Yeah, especially like that the 08 Wimbledon, like the iconic.
Oh no! I think you stop the podcast right here. Like this is giving me oh no, it's so painful.
Yeah, you gotta
Please no.
I watched that as well. I watched that match also. Wow, that was a great match.
Yeah, it's a good match. Yeah, like but he has 22 to Federer's 20, but at the same time, it's also like Djokovic also has 22. So yeah, but Nadal is more like, how to say it? It's like pure passion and like
very grindy, right?
Yeah, like
It's a bit like strength also, yeah.
yeah. Whereas Djokovic is
Like
more
a
like
bull.
a big a mix of both, like a bit of Federer, a bit of Nadal, but he's not as marketable because he's not likable. You know what I mean? Like
No, I think Djokovic has made some very boneheaded kind of decisions before, like like hosting some tournament when there was COVID and things like that.
Don't
So that's
take
when his
vaccine,
reputation was
That
really
was his
hit.
most famous one, he don't want to take vaccine, then he couldn't play in the Australian Open.
Oh yeah, then that one also.
Yes, yes.
Which
That
was
other one, yeah.
that was the one Nadal one, right?
I think so, yes.
I think
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Crazy man. All right. Okay. The big one. I'm gonna say that he was our like thumbnail for our group photo. It's the LeBron. No one took LeBron.
Yes, oh my god, LeBron.
I can sense it, man. Here's all LeBron haters.
Yeah.
I respect LeBron. I think that he's the second greatest basketball player ever. Like personally, I do think that he's like him and Kareem. They're about the same. But if you were to ask me, like if I were to pick I will still put like Kobe ahead. Like personally, what I like more, right? Yeah, Kobe and Jordan, I will still pick ahead of him.
Yeah.
I would put Dirk, but yeah.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Hey, come on, man. Like Dirk kicked like Kobe's ass, KD, then LeBron.
Yeah.
In that 2011. So
Yeah. The finals run.
he's a bit chonk now, a bit too thick. Oh, Steph, yeah, but Steph I was thinking about it.
Steph,
I
yes.
wanted to pick Steph because like he changed the entire like
Change
at one period of time.
Yes.
He changed the game so much. Yeah, like suddenly everybody started taking like super wide like out of the range shot.
Yeah, it's another guy that I'll blame for all the pick up basketball. Pass the ball to someone, right? Then just shoot the tree immediately. Like,
far away. I can do it.
He's also the reason why bigs like he's also the reason why bigs like Carl Anthony Towns, Brook Lopez nowadays all also have to have shooting trees, right? Al Horford, all these.
And why like
and he's so good, and I like the fact that his story was that Nike, he wanted to put the Bible verse on his shoe, but Nike didn't want, so he went to Under Armour. Then that shoe like sold out. It was like sold out like crazy. Yeah.
But we're saying like if you talk about people that really change basketball, I think in the history of basketball it's like maybe three players that really like where the whole league changed the way that they play just to like combat this one person. So it's like Shaquille O'Neal is one because it's like everyone let's just get like 6 people to foul him. Our bench we need 6 gigantic people to go and whack him. Then after that, like Steph is the other one.
And honestly, I always very shocked, right? And like when people tell me how tall Steph Curry is, I always thought he looked so short. I always
he's like
thought
6'3", 6'4".
I was shocked.
Your height, right, Brendan?
Yeah, he's taller than me. I think he's taller than me. I was just like, huh? Steph Curry is taller than me? Then I was just like, cannot be. Then I go and check. I was like, oh my gosh, he's really taller than me.
All right. Okay. I think that's more or less about it. Sorry that we didn't pick any like what. No Ronald Susilo. Or like
Ronald Susilo.
Sorry.
DJ.
All right, that was our greatest athletes draft. All right, that was our greatest athletes draft. If you enjoyed the episode, please remember to give it a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe. We have episodes that drops every Friday. But in the same time, also, if you're into football, we have the football kaki that drops every Wednesday. And if you want to hang out with a couple of bros, myself and Brendan here, we have the Kopi Bro Show that drops every Monday. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to go and vote, please head over to our Instagram page. The link is in the description, and I'll be putting a slide right about now. All right. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode, but remember
to keep warm because there's a draft coming.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Okay, bye guys. See you. Bye, Gordon. Thanks.
All right, bye. See you all. Thanks for having me.